Yo, what's up, everybody out there hustling? We got to stay on top of our game, right? We got to know what works and how it works. So today, we're going to dive deep into a track that's all about that grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't talk about whoop that trick. We got this YouTube video breaking down how this shit came together.
It's a fascinating video.
And trust me when I tell you this shit's fascinating.
Definitely.
No doubt. And you know what really got me is how this track just captures that raw, unapologetic Memphis energy, man. You hear those chants, that beat, and it's like, ooh, you're ready to take on the world, right? But this video revealed something wild to me. The original lyrics for this track weren't whoop that trick. Djay actually came in with beat that bitch.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
interesting. How did that,
But check this out.
how'd they make that transition?
The producers knew Beat That Bitch was fire. But, maybe a little too raw for mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Radio play, wider appeal. They had to strategize,
Right.
For sure. I mean, it makes sense. They're trying to get this thing out there, trying to get this thing heard,
Absolutely.
reach the masses.
Yeah, so they had to think about the business side of things.
Yeah.
But how'd they keep that aggression, that edge,
Mm.
while making a track that everyone can bump?
Well, I think what they did is they tapped into something primal, something universal, It's the chants, man. They're like a war cry.
Okay.
Think about it,
Yeah.
know? Like you got your sports anthems, you got your protest songs.
Yeah.
Even back in the day, they had their, battle cries.
Right.
It's all about that collective energy.
Yeah.
That feeling of power when everybody's on the same page,
Yeah.
Ready to conquer.
It's unity,
A
shared
joke.
purpose.
Yeah. Whoop that trick, kept that raw power, but made it more of an anthem, not a diss track.
So it's like they took that anger, that rage, and flipped it into a force.
Absolutely. A force that unites, man,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
divides.
I like that. And you can't talk about whoop that trick without talking about Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, hell no, man.
It's in the track's DNA, right? The video goes into how the city, the culture, is in every beat of this song.
It's in the song's soul, man. It's not just about the city's name being in the lyrics, but it's the grit, the hustle, that street-level experience. You can feel it bleeds through every element of this song.
Absolutely.
From the slang to the references, it's all authentically Memphis, man.
Speaking of slang, the video talks about Djay using terms like trickin' and pimping, words that hit different for folks who know that life.
Yeah, it's not just words, though, man. It's about shared experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a certain code, It immediately connects with those who understand the streets. For those who don't, it's a glimpse into a life they may not know.
Absolutely. But even with those raw, real lyrics, the video shows how the producers worked with Djay to refine his message.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that even the most talented among us can benefit from, collaboration.
Definitely. Collaboration is key, man. It's like taking a diamond in the rough and polishing it. These producers, they took Djay's raw talent, his vision, and helped him shape it into something even more powerful.
They elevated it.
They did.
Absolutely. Whoop That Trick is a perfect example of how a team can elevate an individual's vision.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Right. But it's not just about the words, right?
Yeah.
You got to have that delivery, that swagger, that certain something.
Yeah, you got to have that it factor, man.
That's what brings it all together.
You got to own it.
Mm-hmm.
The video shows how Djay brought his own personality, his own style to the track. He owned those lyrics, and that's what makes it so compelling, so captivating. You feel his determination, his fire, when you hear him spitting those bars.
Yeah. Now, let's break down one of the most interesting parts of this whole process. The shift, right, from beat that bitch to whoop that trick.
Mm-hmm.
The video highlights how that one single change transformed the whole damn track.
I'm interested to hear this, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So beat that bitch.
Yeah.
It was direct,
Straight to the point.
almost a personal attack, right?
Yeah.
But whoop that trick
Yeah.
broadened the scope.
Okay.
It became more about conquering any obstacle, any trick that life throws your way.
Yeah, it's like they universalized it.
Exactly. It's like they took that specific target and opened it up to the world.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now it applies to everybody.
Everyone can relate.
Every struggle.
It went from a diss
Mm-hmm.
to an anthem.
A rallying cry.
But it kept that fire, that hunger to win.
That hunger, that's the key, man. That's what separates the winners from the losers. That hunger to succeed, to overcome, to whoop that trick.
It's about taking that rage and turn it into fuel to achieve your goals. That's the takeaway here. You got to harness that energy, that raw emotion, and use it to propel yourself forward.
Couldn't agree more, man.
But let's talk about the sound, the production of this track. This video, it breaks it down, showing how they created that raw, gritty feel that just grabs you by the throat. It wasn't about being polished. It was about that authentic Memphis sound.
Yeah, it's about keeping it real, keeping it raw. The producers understood that, man. You can't polish a diamond too much,
Right.
You lose its natural beauty.
Yeah, let it shine.
You do. It's the same with music. They use those rough edges, those gritty sounds to create something truly authentic, something that resonates with the streets.
Yeah, they kept it grimy.
That's right, man. Grimy. And that's what makes it so powerful.
Now, this video also mentioned how the song just blew up after Hustle and Flow.
Yeah.
I mean, it went from an underground banger to a mainstream hit, but it never lost that street cred, man.
True. It never lost its roots.
How'd they manage that?
I think it's the song's power, man. It speaks to the hustler, the grinder, in everyone, regardless of their background.
Okay.
It resonated with people on a deeper level. It spoke to their struggles, their aspirations. Even when it hit the mainstream, it never forgot where it came from, never lost that raw, authentic energy.
Absolutely. And in the video, they show scenes from the movie. And you can see how Whoop That Trick just fuels DJ's journey.
Yeah.
His struggles, his triumphs. It's like the song becomes the soundtrack to his hustle.
It's like another character in the movie.
Yeah, it's pushing him forward, giving him that extra push to overcome obstacles.
Makes it that inner voice, The one that tells you to keep going, to never give up.
It's that motivator.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
think that connection, that synergy between the song and the story is what makes it so impactful for the audience.
Yeah.
They're living that hustle right alongside DJ.
Let's get back to the music itself. The video does this really dope breakdown of the beat, the tempo, how everything works together to create that energy, that infectious vibe.
It's like a masterclass in crafting a hit.
Like they're giving you the blueprint.
They are. But with this one, it's more than just a formula, man.
Okay.
They break down how the producers worked with DJ, experimenting with different sound, fine-tuning the arrangement.
It's the process.
Exactly, the creative process. You get a real glimpse into how a raw idea can be transformed into a masterpiece.
So they don't just tell you, they show you.
That's what's up, man.
Right. And they didn't shy away from the technical stuff, either.
Yeah.
They talked about sampling, mixing, mastering.
All the behind-the-scenes magic.
All that behind-the-scenes
Yeah.
magic, right, that goes into making a track sound professional.
It's important, man, because a lot of folks out there, they hear the final product, but they don't understand all the work that went into it.
Yeah.
All those hours spent fine-tuning,
Mhm.
all that attention to detail, the technical expertise needed to make it all come together. You could have the best lyrics, the hottest beat, but if the production is weak, it's not going to hit the same way.
It's like having a fine-tuned engine in your ride.
Right.
Yeah, the body might be flashy,
Yeah.
but without that powerful engine, you ain't going nowhere fast.
Nope.
And I got to give them props for this. Now, one thing I really appreciated is that the video didn't just glorify Whoop That Trick, right?
No, they kept it real.
They talked about the impact, the good and the bad. They acknowledged that some people might see it as celebrating violence or disrespecting women. And they didn't shy away from that conversation, man.
It's an important conversation to have.
It's important,
It's about recognizing those different viewpoints.
it's about perspective.
Yeah, and understanding the potential impact of the art we create and consume.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And they made it clear that it wasn't their place to tell people how to feel about the song. They presented different perspectives, the facts, and let the viewer decide for themselves.
That's how it should be, man.
It's about encouraging critical thinking, right?
Yeah,
Getting people to engage with art on a deeper level.
that's it.
Think about its complexities,
Mm-hmm.
its nuances. It's not about shutting down conversations.
No,
It's about opening them up.
exactly.
It's wild, though, how a song like Whoop That Trick can spark these kind of discussions.
It is. It's more than just a song, man.
Yeah, it's a reflection of society.
It's a snapshot of a time and place. It reflects the streets, the struggles, the triumphs.
And like we said before,
Yeah,
it speaks to the hustler in all of us.
it does.
That drive to overcome, to succeed.
It's a universal language, man.
It is. Now, the video even talked about some of the legal stuff that came up around the song.
Oh, Lord.
Copyright claims, disputes over who wrote what, all that mess.
Yeah, the game ain't always pretty.
It ain't. It shows you how success can bring a whole new set of problems, man.
True that. True that.
It's a valuable lesson, though, even in the creative world, You got to protect your work, your intellectual property.
Make sure you're getting what you deserve.
Can't let nobody else profit off your hustle.
Straight up, man, straight up.
It's about knowing your worth, right? Understand the business side of things. Even when you're dealing with something as creative as music, you got to be smart, strategic.
And always looking out for number one.
Always. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. They brought in a musicologist, somebody who studies the effects of music on the brain, on our emotions. They talked about how Whoop That Trick uses specific techniques to trigger certain responses in the listener.
Okay, that's deep.
This shit's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like, they're manipulating us with sound.
I wouldn't say manipulation, man.
Ah.
I'd say it's more like an understanding of how music works on a deeper level. They talked about how the song's tempo, the rhythm, mimics a heartbeat,
Right?
you know? And that gets you hyped up, gets you moving.
So it's like the song's literally getting your blood pumping.
Pretty much.
No wonder it makes you want to jump up and get wild.
For real, for real.
Yeah.
They also talked about the repetition, especially in the chants, you know? It's like a hypnotic effect. It draws you in, makes you feel connected to the message. It bypasses your logical brain and goes straight for your gut.
So it's more than just a catchy hook.
It's primal, man.
Right.
It's tapping into something deep within us.
And they tied this back to the history of music, right? How chants and drums have been used forever to bring people together, create a sense of unity.
A shared purpose. It's in our DNA, man. Whoop That Trick, with its modern sound, its streetwise lyrics, it taps into that ancient power. It connects us to something bigger than ourselves, something raw and real.
It's about that collective energy.
It is.
That shared experience.
Exactly.
So it's like they took this old school formula, mixed it with a fresh sound and a message that resonates with the streets, and created something unique.
Yeah, something that speaks to that hustle in all of us.
You know? And that's what makes it so powerful.
That's the magic of Whoop That Trick, man. They didn't just make a hit, they made a movement. It's a testament to the power of music, its ability to transcend time and connect us to something deeper.
It's more than just music, right?
It's a phenomenon.
That's a cultural phenomenon. It's a story of creativity.
Ambition.
Ambition. That grind.
That grind that keeps us all moving forward.
That's what it's all about, man. In this video, it really gives you a new perspective on Whoop That Trick. You know?
For sure.
You start out thinking it's just a banger, a hype track, but by the end you realize, damn, this is a cultural phenomenon.
It is.
It's about creativity.
Hustle.
Knowing your worth.
Fighting for what you deserve.
And fighting for what you deserve.
Fight.
That's the message here. And it resonates with anyone who's ever had to grind to get theirs.
Absolutely.
Anyone who's ever faced obstacles and come out on top.
It's a story of resilience, man.
It is. Now, we've covered the lyrics.
Yeah.
We've covered the production.
Your cultural impact.
Cultural impact.
Yeah.
The legal battles.
Even the science behind the song's energy.
Even the science behind it. We've looked at Whoop That Trick from every angle, you know. But now I got to ask you, the listener, what does Whoop That Trick mean to you? What kind of energy do you bring to your hustle? What makes you want to get up and grind every day?
Music is a powerful tool, man, and it can be used for so much more than just entertainment. Think about how you can use music to amplify your hustle, to make your voice heard, to inspire yourself and others.
Music can be a weapon.
It can be.
It can be a tool.
It can be a sheet.
It can be a source of strength.
It can be whatever you need it to be, man. It's all about how you use it.
And that's what Whoop That Trick is all about, man.
It's about harnessing that power, that energy, and turning it into something positive, something that drives you forward.
It's about finding your voice, your rhythm, and using it to conquer the world one obstacle at a time. So go out there, make some noise, and keep that hustle alive. We'll be back in part 2 to dive even deeper into this track.
Yeah, it went from a diss to an anthem, but it kept that fire, you know, that hunger to win. You know, it's like taking that rage and turning it into fuel to achieve your goals.
Damn, turning that negative energy into something positive.
Yeah.
That's some real game right there.
That's it.
But let's talk about the sound, the production. This video breaks it down, showing how they created that raw, gritty feel that just grabs you. It wasn't about being polished. It was about that authentic Memphis sound.
Yeah, keeping it real, keeping it raw. You know, the producers understood that. You can't polish a diamond too much.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
You lose its natural beauty. It's the same with music. They use those rough edges, those gritty sounds, to create something truly authentic, something that resonates with the streets.
Yeah, they kept it grimy.
They kept it grimy, and that's what makes it so powerful.
Now, the video also mentioned how the song just blew up after Hustle and Flow.
It did.
I mean, it went from an underground banger to a mainstream hit. But it never lost that street cred, man.
That's right.
How they manage that?
I think it's the song's power, you know?
Okay.
It speaks to the hustler in everyone, regardless of their background.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It resonated with people on a deeper level, you
Yeah.
know? Spoke to their struggles, their aspirations, and even when it hit the mainstream, it never forgot where it came from. Never lost that raw, authentic energy.
It stayed true to its roots.
It did. And you know, they showed those scenes in the video from the movie.
Yeah.
And you could see how Whoop That Trick just fuels DJ's journey.
Yeah.
You know, his struggles, his triumphs. It's like the song becomes the soundtrack to his hustle.
It's like the song's a character in the movie pushing him forward.
Yes.
You know?
It's giving him that extra push to overcome those obstacles.
Mm.
And I think that connection, that synergy between the song and the story is what makes it so impactful.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
For the audience, it's like they're living that hustle right alongside DJ.
Yeah, let's get back to the music itself.
Yeah.
This video did a really dope breakdown of the beat to tempo, how everything works together to create that energy, that infectious vibe.
It's like a lesson in how to craft a hit.
Like they're giving you the blueprint.
They are, but
Hmm.
this is more than just a formula. You know what I'm saying? Like, they break down how the producers work with DJ experimenting with sounds, fine-tuning the arrangement.
So it's a process.
It is. It's the creative process. You get a real glimpse into how a raw idea can be transformed into a masterpiece.
So they don't just tell you, they show you.
Exactly.
And they didn't shy away from the technical stuff either. They talked about sampling, mixing, mastering,
All that behind-the-scenes magic.
all that stuff that goes into making a track sound professional.
Right. And it's important, man, because a lot of folks, they hear the final product, but they don't understand all the work that went into it. You know what I mean?
Right.
All those hours spent fine-tuning, you know, the attention to detail, the technical expertise needed to make it all come together. You could have the best lyrics, the hottest beat, but if the production's weak, it's not going to hit the same.
It's like having a fine-tuned engine in your ride.
Yeah. Yeah.
The body might be flashy, but without that powerful engine, you ain't going nowhere fast.
That's a good analogy.
And one thing I got to give them props for is they didn't just glorify the song. They talked about the impact, good and the bad.
Yeah.
You know, they acknowledged how some folks might see it as celebrating violence or disrespecting women.
Right.
And they didn't shy away from that conversation at all.
No, they didn't. And that's important. You know what I'm saying?
I think so.
Any form of, or especially music, it can be interpreted in different ways.
Right.
And I think it's important to have those conversations. You know what I'm saying? To understand the potential impact
Absolutely.
of the art we create and consume.
And they made it clear that it wasn't their place to tell people how to feel about the song.
Right.
You know, they presented the different perspectives.
Yeah.
The facts.
Yeah.
And they let the viewer decide for themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Encouraging critical thinking. You know, getting people to think for themselves.
It's about perspective.
It is.
No, not shutting down the conversation, but opening it up.
It's wild, though, how a song like Whoop That Trick can spark these kinds of discussions.
It's more than just a song, man.
Yeah.
It's a reflection of society.
Right. A snapshot of a certain time and place.
It reflects the streets.
The struggles, the
Yeah.
triumphs, you know,
Hustle.
the hustle. And it speaks to the hustler in all of us.
Mm-hmm.
That drive to overcome and succeed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, the video even talked about some of the legal stuff that came up around the song.
Oh, yeah. The messy stuff.
Copyright claims, disputes over who wrote what,
The ugly side of the business.
all that mess. It shows you that success can bring a whole new set of problems.
That's right. The game ain't always pretty.
I mean, you got to be ready for it.
But it's a valuable lesson, though,
Hmm.
even in the creative world. You know? You have to protect your work, your intellectual property.
Make sure you're getting what you deserve.
Exactly. Can't let nobody else profit off your hustle.
Right. It's about knowing your worth, understanding the business side of things, even when you're dealing with something as creative as music.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be smart, strategic.
And always looking out for number one.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting to me. They bring in a musicologist, somebody who studies the effects of music on the brain, on our emotions.
Okay.
And they talk about how Whoop That Trick uses specific techniques to trigger certain responses in the listener.
Interesting.
This shit's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like they're manipulating us with sound.
It's not really manipulation, though.
Okay.
It's more about understanding
Okay.
how music works on a deeper level.
Right.
Like how certain sounds, certain rhythms can evoke specific emotions.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like they're tapping into our primal instincts, our subconscious.
So it's like they're hacking our brains with music.
In a way, I guess you could say that.
No wonder this song makes you feel so hyped up.
Yeah, for real. They talked about how the song's tempo, the rhythm, it actually mimics the heartbeat, which gets your blood pumping, gets you moving.
So it's like the song is literally getting you hyped up on a physical level.
It is. And they also talk about the repetition, especially in the chants. It's like a hypnotic effect. You know what I mean? It draws you in. It makes you feel connected to the message. It bypasses your logical brain and goes straight to your gut.
So it's like they're hitting us on a primal level.
They are. And you know what's interesting is they tied this back to the history of music.
Okay.
You know, how chants and drums have been used for centuries to bring people together, to create a sense of unity, a shared purpose. It's like it's hardwired into us. You know?
So Whoop That Trick is like a modern-day tribal chant.
It is. It takes these ancient techniques and applies them to a modern sound. And it works. It connects with us on a deep level.
That's powerful.
It is. It's the power of music, man.
Mm-hmm.
It can move us. It can inspire us. It can unite us.
It's a universal language.
And Whoop That Trick is a perfect example of that. It's a song that transcends cultures and languages and speaks to something deep within us all.
It's about that primal urge to overcome, to succeed.
To whoop that trick, whatever that trick may be.
So they talked about the lyrics, the production, the cultural impact, even the science behind the music. What else did this video unpack?
Well, they talked about the song's legacy, man, how it's influenced hip-hop, how it's become a part of pop culture. Whoop That Trick. It's been sampled, remixed, flipped 1,000 different ways.
Wow.
You know, it's like it's become a part of the musical landscape.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's a reference point for anyone trying to capture that raw, unapologetic energy.
Like a blueprint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But for that real gritty sound.
Mm-hmm. And the video showed how other artists have taken Whoop That Trick and, made it their own, put their own spin on it.
That's right. That's how music evolves, man. It builds on itself, reinterprets the past, creates something new from something old.
You got to be innovative.
You do got to keep pushing boundaries.
Now, this video really gave me a new perspective on Whoop That Trick, man. I started out thinking it was just a banger, a hype track, but by the end, I was like, damn, this is a cultural phenomenon.
It is, man. It's a story in itself. A story of talent, hustle, knowing your worth, and fighting for what you deserve. It's a message that resonates with anyone who's ever had to grind to get theirs. Anyone who's ever faced obstacles and come out on top.
It's inspiring.
It is.
So we've broken down this track, looked at it from every angle. We've seen how it was built, how it impacted the game, how it continues to inspire. But now, I got to ask you, the listener, what does Whoop That Trick mean to you? What kind of energy do you bring to your hustle?
Music is powerful, man, and I believe it can motivate you, unite you, even give you that extra push when you need it most.
Yeah.
Think about the message you want to send with your grind. How can you use music to amplify your hustle? Make your voice heard.
Music can be a weapon. It can be a tool.
It can be whatever you need it to be, man. It's all about how you use it.
Absolutely. And that's what Whoop That Trick is all about, man. Finding your voice, your rhythm, and using it to conquer the world one obstacle at a time. So go out there, make some noise, and keep that hustle alive.
Yeah.
We out.